In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use Solver to calculate the number of shares to repurchase for a firm if our goal is to repurchase a certain dollar amount of shares. In the spreadsheet that I've got here, it has a 10-year projection of the financial statements for a firm, and it allows us to adjust the dividend payout ratio for the initial year projected, the dividend growth rate for every year after the initial year, and then the number of shares to be repurchased in any given year. So in this example, I want to show you how to determine how many shares need to be repurchased in 2026 in order to use $5,000 worth of cash for the firm. So we can see here on the balance sheet for the firm in 2026, we see a significant increase in cash, and the firm wants to get rid of some of that cash through a stock repurchase. Down below, the price per share is determined or is estimated as being 13 times the earnings per share for the firm. And as we repurchase shares, that's going to shrink the number of shares out there, and it's going to increase the earnings per share because we have the same dollar amount of earnings, or we assume that the firm will earn the same dollar amount of earnings regardless of the number of shares repurchased. And so the number of earnings, the amount of earnings, will be spread out over fewer and fewer shares as we repurchase stock, and that'll have the effect of increasing the stock price. So if I just try to do this by hand, I might go down here and say, okay, I'm going to have $5,000, and I'm going to divide that by the number of the price per share, which is $95.73. So that would say I need to repurchase 52.23 shares. So I'm going to go up here to row 4 for 2026 and just type in 5223 as the number of shares to repurchase. Now we can see here, that was kind of fast, but the earnings per share increases, and so the price per share, the share price, also increases. And so I'm going to end up with more than $5,000 of shares repurchased. And this is row 77 is the repurchase of common stock on the statement of cash flows. So what I want to do is use Solver to determine the number of shares that would get me to $5,000 being repurchased. So I'm going to delete this out. And now I'm going to use Solver to do that. And Solver, if you're in the Home tab, if you look up here, it says Solver. Don't use that one. That's the wrong one to use. We want to go to Data. And up here in the Analysis area, it says Solver. And that's the one we want to use. If you don't have that there, here's how to get it. Go out and select File and select Options. And then go to Add-ins. And down here it says, make sure that says Excel Add-ins, and press Go. And you'll want to select Analysis Toolpacks, you'll want to, you should have Analysis Toolpack in there, but you also want to have Solver Add-in. Select that and press OK, and you'll be good there. All right. So now I'm going to choose my Solver. And I want to set the objective. So the objective I want to set is that I'm going to repurchase $5,000 of common stock in 2026. So I'm going to go here, repurchase of common stock, projected 2026. So this is E78. So I want to set E78 to negative 5,000 because I want to repurchase $5,000 of stock, and that is a use of cash for the year. And I want to do that by changing the variable cell, and I want to go to E4 because that cell gives us the number of shares repurchased. And then I'm going to press Solve. And it said it found a solution, so we're going to check that solution real quick. So it says, if I buy 49.6365 shares, that's going to have my repurchase of common stock in 2026 be negative. My cash flows there is negative 5,000, so I'm repurchasing 5,000 shares, and that results in a share price of $100.73 per share for my company. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions, and the spreadsheet, if you don't have it, is available out on GitHub on the link in the description.